Hello and welcome our blood viewers to RTD News English edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top highlights of tonight. The Ministry of Interior engaged directly with the residents of Oboch, attentive to local realities. And on the international scene, Israeli restrictions on Palestinians' land rights. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. The Ministry of Islamic Affairs and Endowments held an important meeting yesterday, Tuesday, dedicated to discussing arrangements and measures to ensure the arrival of the holy month of Ramadan is observed with the high standards of organization and spirituality. The meeting at the Supreme Islamic Council was attended by the Council's Executive Secretary, the Director General of the Institute for Moderation and Cultural of Peace, the Director of Islamic Affairs, and a number of prominent imams, preachers, and scholars from across the country. Deliberations focused certainly on harnessing the blessings of the holy month to deepen faith and renew religious life among Muslims. The attending scholars emphasized that Ramadan presents an opportunity to revive ethical and spiritual values and to strengthen honesty, piety, patience, mercy, and social solidarity. They also stressed the need to preserve the sanctity of the month and to maintain its spirit across all aspects of daily life. During the meeting, the Directorate of Islamic Affairs distributed a circular calling for the unification of the Maghrib and Suhoor dawn calls to prayer across the capital and the regions, organizing sermons and religious guides inside mosques, and stressing the importance of conserving electricity and water and religious facilities. In his opening remarks, the Executive Secretary underscored the expansion of awareness programs about Islamic values. As part of the President's policy of bringing authorities closer to the population, President Ismail Omar Guelleh's initiative, the Minister of the Interior, Mr. Saeed Nur Hassan, conducted a working visit to the Oboch area as part of his semi-annual tour of the country's regions. During the visit, the minister and his delegation inspected the village of Wadi in the Alilidad locality, closely observed residents' living conditions, and examined the social challenges they face. A direct exchange with residents underlined the authorities' firm commitment to addressing local concerns and strengthening ongoing dialogue with citizens. The Director General of Population, Abdi Abdullah Absiye, presented a series of practical proposals aimed at improving citizens' access to identity documents in the Oboch area. These measures focus on strengthening registration systems, simplifying administrative procedures, and implementing community initiatives to bring civil registry services closer to remote areas, reflecting the government's commitment to administrative collection and enabling effective exercise of civic rights and social rights. The official visit included the presence of the governor of Oboch, Mr. Musa'ad Migane, and the governor's deputy for the locality, whose participation significantly contributed to the visit's success and demonstrated effective coordination among regional authorities. In a related initiative, the Ministry of Interior, Mr. Saeed Nur Hassan, held an expanded meeting with representatives of local communities, community leaders, elders, women's associations, and heads of decentralized government bodies. These discussions provided an opportunity to assess programs made in implementing measures recommended during previous visits and offered residents a platform to voice their expectations and priorities in a spirit of attentive consultation. The meeting reiterated the ministry's commitment to addressing citizens' concerns seriously and constantly, and to strengthen grassroots local governance to achieve tangible, sustainable results. In his remarks, the Interior Minister explained that the visit was part of his scheduled regional tour. He noted that last year he visited distant villages before stopping in Oboch, that he chose this year to return to meet local community leaders, the primary purpose of the trip. The Ministry of Health announced a precautionary recall of certain brands of infant formula to ensure infant safety. As part of the recall campaign of recently identified batches of powdered infant formula, the General Inspectorate of Health Services teams carried out a comprehensive inspection of all pharmacies, supermarkets, and other affected retail outlets. The ministry stated the operation aimed to verify that all batches cited in the official notice has been withdrawn and to ensure affected products were no longer available for sale. The inspection also sought to raise awareness among retailers and distribution managers about strict compliance with recall procedures and to ensure the public that all measures taken safeguard infants' health and safety. Following the inspections, authorities confirmed that the affected batches have been fully removed from distribution challenge and inspection teams will continue monitoring to ensure ongoing compliance with preventive measures. The ministry thanked pharmacists, retailers, and partners for their immediate responsible cooperation and reiterated its unwavering commitment to protecting children's health and safety. In a televised statement, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble, said our teams recently identified certain batches of infant formula that may pose a potential risk to infants' health. Protecting children's health is always our top priority, he said. Accordingly, our inspectors were dispatched immediately across the country to conduct thorough inspections of pharmacies, stores, and other sales outlets to guarantee the complete and effective withdrawal of the affected batches. The minister also reiterated that inclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months is the optimal feeding choice for infants. Consistent with the World Health Organization regional health recommendations, he explained that breast milk provides essential nutrients for infant growth, boosts immunity against infectious and chronic diseases, and supports proper cognitive and motor development. The minister responsible for employment, formalization, and social protection, Mr. Omar Abdi Said, participated accompanied by the ambassador of Djibouti to the Kingdom of Morocco and a senior delegation from his ministry in the 6th Global Conference of Elimination of Child Labor held in Marrakesh, Kingdom of Morocco from 11th to 13th February 2026. The international conference, held under the high patronage of King Mohammed VI and organized by the Moroccan Ministry of Economic Inclusion, Small Businesses, Employment and Skills in partnership with the International Labour Organization, brought to over 700 participants representing 187 International Labour Organization member states, social partners, international organizations including the Arab Labour Organization, experts, and civil society actors. In his address, the Minister, Mr. Omar Abdi Said, highlighted that the objectives of the global meeting to evaluate progress since the previous session in Durban in 2022, to highlight ongoing challenges in preventing and effectively removing children from the hazardous forms of work, and to provide a form of international cooperation, the exchange of best practices, and the harmonization of public policies and frameworks at national, regional, and global levels. The State Secretariat in charge of sports organized a seminar today at the Ayla Hotel titled Sports Professions and Prospects, Constraints and Opportunities. The seminar was attended by the Secretary of State for Sports, Mr. Hazem Mohammed Kamel, the Governor of Djibouti City, and more than 180 participants from the University of Djibouti, the ISCAE Institute, resident sport gratuities, volunteers, technical staff from the Football Federation, former athletes, representative of audiovisual sports press. The event aimed to raise awareness of the professional opportunities available in the sports sector and to outline the challenges and constraints they may face in their career paths. In his comments on the occasion, the Secretary of State for Sports, Mr. Hassan Mohammed Kamil, thanked the Alliance constituency for their support and cooperation in organizing the event. He noted that the seminar enabled participants to gain a better understanding of the challenges facing the sports sector in Djibouti and to discover the range of employment opportunities available in the field. A ministerial delegation from South Sudan and Uganda, led by South Sudan's Minister of Transport, Mr. Rizq Zakaria Hassan, and Uganda's Minister of Works and Transport, Mr. Edward Katumba Wamala, visited Djibouti's port and logistic infrastructure, accompanied by the Chairman of the Ports and Free Zones Authority, Mr. Obakar Umar Hadi. Delegation began its tour at the Damerjok Liquid Bulk Terminal, a sophisticated oil infrastructure featuring a 2.5 kilometer marine berth and an annual dynamic handling capacity of 25 million tons across 12 cycles. The terminal connects to the mainland via a 350-meter access bridge, and it's equipped with a multi-port manifold system served by nine cleanable lines, enabling simultaneous handling of diesel, aviation fuel, gasoline, heavy fuel, and oil, liquefied petroleum gas, and edible oils. The Marine Berth supplies several storage stations with a total fixed capacity estimated at about 2 million cubic meters. The delegation then visited the Dorali container terminal, capable of accommodating the world's largest container ships. Owing to its high standards of productivity and reliability, the terminal affirms Djibouti's role as a major regional international container logistical hub. The tour continued at the multi-purpose port of Dorali, an infrastructure designed to handle conventional bulk and general cargo to support major regional industrial infrastructure projects. The ministers also expected the Djibouti International Free Zone, the largest free zone in Africa, whose use as a regional trade and distribution platform was described as a strategic option, particularly within Djibouti's cost insurance and freight commercial model. The integrated system, combining ports, logistics services, industrial zones, and multimodal connectivity, reduces transport costs, optimizes supply chains, and significantly improves transit times. At the close of the visit, both South Sudan's Minister of Transport, Mr. Rizk Zakaria Hassan, and Uganda's Minister of Works and Transport, Mr. Edward Katumba Walama, reaffirmed their commitment to strengthen cooperation with Djibouti in transport. Let's listen to them.
On this visit to Dameryok terminal, which is one of the largest terminals specialized for the oil exports. And we in South Sudan, we are extra privileged. And I think based on the bottlenecks that we had along our exports through Sudan, this would be the appropriate alternatives. And I'm quite sure connections for us, connecting South Sudan with the world.
It is going to be highly it will be a good facility for us as we are talking about promoting our logistics and trade between our four countries, actually, South Sudan, Uganda, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and Djibouti. So congratulations, Honorable. Thank you for this very big facility. And definitely it is us now to take advantage of this free port so that we can reduce on the pains of going to Dubai, going to other ports when ours is closed here. So I think this is in the right direction, and regional integration, and also building our interaction as nations.
In remarks to the visiting delegation, the chairman of the Ports and Free Zones Authority, Mr. Obakar Umar Hadi, said that they are honored to receive the Ministers of Transport from the Republic of South Sudan and Uganda to view the advanced port and logistics infrastructure.
Welcome today here, Uganda Transport Infrastructure Minister. Also, we welcome South Sudan Transport Infrastructure. So we open up for Uganda and South Sudan to export their products from this jetty, this port, to the Red Sea. Another corridor. You are welcome.
The Director General of the Djibouti Fund for Economic Development, Mrs. Nasro Habib Ibrahim, attended high-level working sessions on the new African financial architecture at the invitation of the President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Sidi Ould Taha, as member of the Association for African Development Finance Institutions. The meetings held at the bank's headquarters in Abidjan on Tuesday, 17th of February 2026, aimed to accelerate implementation of the new architecture by strengthening coordination, integration, and efficiency among national African development finance institutions. One of the main outcomes was the establishment of a continent-wide financial coordination platform. A bilateral Coast Guard exercise stimulated the transfer of suspected piracy detainees, a core pillar of cooperation between the two participating maritime institutions. The drill tested procedures for secure transfer, detention protocols, and interagency coordination in scenarios involving maritime security incidents. The exercise demonstrated interoperability between security services and aimed to strengthen regional capacity to respond to piracy and other maritime crimes. A senior officer noted that the exercises also included legal and humanitarian safeguards to ensure detainees' rights are respected during transfer and processing.
activity. So if in case we arrest the pirate suspect on the sea, we will bring them here to the Dipty port and then transport them to the Dipty airport, and we will bring them back to Japan to hand over the suspect to the prosecutor's office. And this must be done very smoothly. And in order to do so, we need exercise from the usual times. And also, we need the cooperation of the Deputy Coast Guard.
The acting commander of the Djiboutian Coast Guard said the objective of these exercises is to enhance our operational readiness and to tighten cooperation with partner navies and Coast Guard services. A new SOS Children's Village was integrated in the Dakhil region, providing permanent facilities designed to support vulnerable children and their families. The center includes residential accommodations, educational spaces, and social services intended to strengthen family reunification efforts and child welfare in the area. Local officials and community representatives participated in the opening ceremony, underscoring the project's expected contribution to social protection and child development. The General Director of SOS Villages said that the opening of this village marks a significant step in their work to provide safe, stable family environments and holistic care for children in need. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, Israeli occupation authorities have removed land registration powers from the Palestinian Authority in a move described as one of the most significant changes to land administrative since 1967. Nairobi hosts a high-level conference on financing smallholder farmers. At the Kenyan capital, Nairobi hosted a high-level conference on financing smallholder farmers in Africa, bringing together policymakers, investments, and agriculture experts. Organized jointly by the African Bank and the Pan-African Farmers Organization, the event focused on expanding smallholders' access and financing smallholder farmers in Africa, bringing together policymakers, investments, and agricultural experts. Organized jointly by the African Development Bank and the Pan-African Farmers Organization, the event focused on expanding smallholder access to financial services. Well, but these are Blood viewers. We finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more as usual. Have a wonderful evening and take care.